Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me into a solo Velganos run. Now this is not so much a guide, rather a follow me along sort of walkthrough. First of all, the important keystones. I am at gear score 1385, these are my stats. I have 2 max engravings and 1 level 1 engraving, and I don't really have a whole lot of gems or cards to boot with. As far as my skill points go, I have 336 and I'm currently level 54. So I do not have the perk of extra damage from level 55 skills yet. Aside from this, Deadeye is definitely not the most suitable class to take on Velganos solo, but he can still do it just like any other class can do, and I'll explain a few things as we go. Secondly, we are probably in the worst position we can to fight Velganos, so let's see how I can actually do without making myself a fool. Hopefully that is at least. First of all, you can see that right now our damage numbers are good. So maybe you heard about this light stack mechanic or anything that goes into Velganos. And this happens now. Now that he summons the first set of light stacks, I deal reduced damage until I have at least 3 stacks, which I now have back. Which will help me now deal my normal damage again. Aside from this, I already prepare myself mentally for the fact that there's going to be a stagger check that's coming up soon. And how I do this is I keep 2 skills on ready, which is one of the perks of being Deadeye, that I have so many skills. So I can save some of my abilities because I know that a stagger check is coming, and having those 2 abilities ready, I can very easily stagger him. And I don't have to worry about whirlwind bombs or anything else. Plus, you definitely want to stagger him. Not only does it grant you a big window, but it also grants you light stacks. And there we go, stagger happening. 1 ability, ability number 2, and he's successfully staggered. I highly encourage each and everybody of you, if you plan on soloing Velganos reliably and comfortably, figure out how many skills you need or what it is that you need in order to stagger him constantly and all the time. This also goes to show that I knew that the stagger window is coming up, and so should you know, and then just either prepare some skills or bring a whirlwind bomb, or, you know, just prepare in whatever way, shape, or form possible. This was actually pretty bad. I got hit there, and I got pushed into a dark mechanic, or into a dark ability. That made me lose 1 stack. Luckily, since I'm solo, I have a lot of light lying around, so that doesn't really bother me. And the reason I said this is probably the worst position to be in, because this is a very cramped place. There is very little room for me to maneuver around, and I gotta be really careful of where I position myself and how I do these fights, because otherwise, this was actually a pretty bad shotgun move here, because otherwise I could potentially die. The safe spot for the tail swipe is actually behind Velganos. Typically what I do is I try to move away so don't get hit by that. You can also see that he deals considerably okay-ish damage, but some of his moves actually hurt quite a bit. Such as this one, for example, which is why a backstabbing class like Deadeye is not ideal to fight Velganos, especially not solo. This is the bite mechanic. If you are solo, just hack at him. You don't even have to stand in the circle. You can see that I'm not even in the circle and he still bite me. Just stand in front of him. This is a very huge window of opportunity. Just make sure that you have your spacebar available after that, so you can hop on and jump, and that's it. And we should probably end up going into phase soon, more or less soon. Now he's doing rainy, rainy, rain. No more rain. I want to make sure I dodge this. And you can see positioning is very crucial in Velganos, and this is why this place is just so horrid. Yeah, for this mechanic, he just stomps the ground 3 times. Just say it out of, you know, distance, and there you go. Now toppling the AoE with quite a bit of AoE really sucks big time. But if you're patient enough and you're just walking around, you're good. This also is a very scary move. The follow-up, like, this winds up. The first initial hits don't really hurt a lot, but the later hits can very easily one-shot you. So make sure you actually, you know, don't take this. This is very good. Probably one of the best openings he can give you. And there we go, phase 1 is over. He has a very lenient window when it comes to pheromone bombs, so I highly encourage you to get used to using pheromones. This will make your fight a lot faster and a lot more consistent. On the flip side though, if he ever goes into that position, what you could do is actually let him jump away, because this fight will become very annoying in here. And you can see 14,000 damage for this tail swipe here, which is why I said a backstabbing class like Deadeye, you gotta be careful about this, because otherwise you take a whole lot of damage. And we start with light stacks again. Fortunately, we have some potions. I'm confident with the fight, so I use greens. Obviously, as starters, you might use blues or even purple. I want to drag him over here though, because this position there is pretty shit. Gotta wait for the orbs to go away. Very looking good. And there's that. A good thing about Deadeye is I can use some of these opportunities to use some other skills such as snipe, because I have the range to attack from safety. This move here is actually aimable, and by aimable mean you can control where Velganos is landing. And there we go, stagger. You can see I kept my 2 skills ready, 1 ability and 2 abilities, and he's staggered. Light stacks, 3 damage, very, very good. Also, I kind of got carried away and I didn't use my awakening. Ideally, you start off the fight straight away with the awakening, and you definitely want to make sure you don't get hit by that, because 1 hit of that basically equals 1 potion that I have to chug, and I only have 5 potions, so if I get hit more than 5 times, I'm in a bit of a pinch. Oh shit. Why did I walk into that? Because I got too greedy. The patience is key here. This is definitely not going to be the best clear time. First of all, I'm playing a bit safer than usual, and this positioning is just mad bad. Get him up here, maybe. Also, we have some bad luck with RNG. There's a lot of rain coming down, and the rain mechanic is just really... Uh-oh. In an emergency, you can actually... If you know how the moves work, you can actually dodge them the way that I did. But, yeah. That takes some practice. Just like anything else does, though. We're gonna go for the bite mechanic soon. There we go. And again, just gonna use my abilities. And he'll bite me. And that means 3 damage. So yeah, ideally you do it not the way that I do it. You instantly up your awakening for extra damage. But for me, I want to keep it for phase 3 now, because phase 3 might be a bit more challenging than the other ones. I don't really like the position that I'm in here. So, what I mean by that is, he is predicting where you're going to be. So if you're walking to the right, what happens, he is actually going to aim that move to the further right. So he predicts where you're going to be. If you do a sudden turn at the end, you can actually wiggle around and dodge this move completely without even using spacebar. Maybe I can show it to you again, maybe not, we'll see. Phase number 3 instantly starts spawning light orbs. And he will also turn red soon, which adds a new move and also removes one of the other things. So, here we go. No scream at the end there, good. Depending on how fast I am and how fast I can bring him into the last phase, he will go for another stagger check, which may or may not happen, I don't know yet, we'll see. Could have been close, this could have potentially killed me. There we go, stagger. And since I know that these 2 skills are enough to stagger him, I'm very comfortable and very calm. In the event that you don't have enough stagger, or you're not sure if you can stagger him, just run away very far, and that will also prevent you from getting killed. But like I said, it's a free window. Alright, we're gonna go into red phase. He's gonna do the very infamous, you probably heard about this, pizza. Now, as a general rule of thumb, if you don't have to, never dance the first pizza. There's going to be rain, there's going to be orbs around. The first pizza is a very dangerous thing to do. First of all, you may actually lose stacks, or worst of all, you're going to get killed. And once he's red, he will no longer spawn these light stacks. And the only way to get light stacks is to dance the pizza. You gotta make sure that your pizza game is on top, so you don't actually end up not having stacks, because without stacks you pretty much cannot kill Velganos. I'm gonna try and move him a little bit further down. This is gonna be fairly annoying. Okay, can't really do much there. Use my perfect shot. Get away. 3 damage here. 3 damage here again. Once he's red, he no longer does the stagger, by the way. That was the first pizza or pizza announcement or fake pizza. After that, you have 2 short or 3 short or 2 long moves. Okay, this is a pretty terrible spot to be in. I want to move him away. No, we're not going to dance the pizza. The reason we're not going to dance the pizza because he's too close to the wall and I could potentially get myself killed. I still have 4 stacks. I'm comfortable in here. What you can also do in this scenario is only dance one of the slices if you really want to, because the pizza always starts at the back of Velganos. What that means, you always know the first location and you always know the third location, because it's always going to be starting location at the back of Velganos, and the third location is always going to be in front. So if you really need a stack desperately, you can potentially do that. I used my spacebar, so we're going to go there, wiggle, and control where he lands. Actually, this was not really the best scenario where he lands, to be honest. Also, these ads are triggering me quite a bit. All right. Pizza announcement number 2. Let's hope that I can actually dance the pizza there. This is good. This is going to be stationary. So, he should do the pizza. There you go. And the swirly whirly tells me which way to go. We're rotating counterclockwise. Starting from the back. 4 rotations. After pizza, he's always going to do the slow rain, which gives you a very good window of opportunity. And we're just going to run this way. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to get zapped by that lightning. Position here is pretty terrible again, but we're going to deal with it anyway. I still didn't use my awakening now that I realized it, but bring it back here. Wow. I got carried away by I got carried away by my mail. So what happens if you die, you lose the stacks, and now my damage is going to be pretty horrible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dance around and wait for the pizza in order to get stacks. He should actually do the pizza fairly soon, I think. So we shouldn't be... There we go. That was the pizza announcement. After pizza announcement, try to keep in center. Going to be there. This is good. This might count as a long move, I'm not sure. No, but see, that was 3 moves. After this, he's going to do the pizza. Prepare ourselves, starting from the back. This time, we're again rotating counterclockwise. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can very easily walk this. I would not recommend using any mobility skills because this could potentially ruin your pizza. And there you have it. We're back in the fight. We're just going to use my awakening for good measure after he's going to give me an opening, such as that. I suspect that he will die in the next... turn away. I suspect that he will die in the next 30-ish seconds or so. Depends. Like I said, this is definitely not the most optimal run, but this is more like a follow me along. See what mistakes I did, see what I didn't do. And just play in a calmly manner, jumping around. That is also a very scary move. That is actually what one-shot me before, by the way. See, behind him, we're safe. Pizza announcement. Another tail swipe. And he's dead. And that is it. Soloing Velganos requires practice. I think it took me around 4 hours on the Russian server before I first got my actual first solo kill. So obviously don't be discouraged if this takes longer. You can see that my record is just above 10 minutes. So there's definitely a lot of time that I could shave off here. But as I said, this was neither the optimal position, nor do I think I've played optimally. Aside from this, like I said, 336 skill points. These are my stats. Nothing too crazy. Everybody can do it. Even bards and paladins, if they run a DPS loadout, even they can solo it. And yeah, I think it's a very fun fight. So I highly encourage each and everybody of you to try solo it. Aside from that, if you want to know any specifics, then feel free to let me know. Also, I made a video guide talking about the build that I'm using. You can find the link in the description below if you want to check that out. Aside from that, thanks everybody for being here, and I'll see you guys next time.
take you back. You want me to take you back. You want me to take you back. You want me to take you back.